own. Yay, look at that. Looks beautiful. So, looks so lovely. Except my setup's not that pretty. Let's put that there, put that over there, put my lens cap somewhere else. My phone. That can actually go on charge over there. Alright. Wow. I'm going to have to change that camera at some point. But I've got the important one sorted. So let's do some stitching. That can go over there so that I can tuck that away. Okay, so as a sneak thing, because I haven't pressed publish just yet. I have recorded my first floss tube. I will be posting it, I'm thinking Monday. It's all ready to go, but I need to drip feed stuff like all good social media accounts. I don't want that showing. I want that to just be sneak off the... There we go. Or I could go like that. Yeah, that's better. What was I saying? Oh, you know what I should do? I should post that I'm live. I'll take a picture. Where's my mouse? Okay. Okay, let's do the social medias thing. Because I was just talking about how great of a social media poster I am. Lol. I just gotta post that on Twitter as well. Hopefully I don't have any other viewers. No, I don't. It's still me. So that's good. Tweet that. Tweet. Okay. What was I saying? Man, I've got to fix this setup. This is not ideal. I wanted to have that camera viewing that wall. So I'm going to have to figure something else out. What if I go like this? Zoom in. Do that. And then put this down here. How does that look? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. So I can't see what I'm doing. Whoop. You are. I mean, that works for now. I'll figure something else out at some point. You can see the lens of my camera. But anyway, so, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was talking about before, but I remember that I was talking before about the fact that this now looks so much better. I'm like so pleased about how this looks now. I keep looking off to the left of the screen, my right, because I've got my OBS over there and I need to press it on that one. Okay, I've almost been streaming for half an hour and I haven't done any stitching. So, oh, I remember what I was talking. This is why I labeled my stream as ADHD, because I have ADHD. I recently posted about it on my Instagram and on my website, that a couple of months ago I found out I have ADHD, and I had suspected for quite a number of years. So, but I still feel weird whenever I'm like, oh, that's classic ADHD. But anyway, shit, now I've lost it. I haven't done any stitching yet, and it's been almost 28 minutes. Let's do some stitching. Okay. I'm gonna put on some music. I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't stream. Okay, it doesn't. I want some noise. Because if I need to obviously stream to build up my viewers, but in the beginning it's not easy to just sit here in silence for me. I don't know if that's again an ADHD thing or whatnot. But I need something. I could just watch Netflix. Man, I want to watch Loki, but my husband is being really slow about it, and he really wants to watch it with me, so. Okay, I'm going to add that to my library, and I'm going to put on my music, because I know it's not streaming. Home. And let's put this one on. And I'll just bop along, and you can't hear the music. It'll be funny. Okay. Let's do some stitching. This piece. Let's talk about this piece. This is a restitch of the pattern that you see, which is up there. I have already stitched this, and that's what I was saying before, that I've recorded my floss tube. I talked about this piece in my first floss tube, so you'll be able to watch it again on YouTube, probably on Monday, potentially tomorrow. I'm still working it out. So yeah, I'm really not enjoying this. So I am using me streaming it as a good incentive to get this thing done. Because, oh my god, I'm so tired of this piece. I've never been asked to restitch a piece before. And I have learnt that I would not do well. So, okay. The rest of my desk over here is a complete disaster, so bear with me. I need to Get my pattern bag. This is my fancy bags, Ziploc bags. Shout out to Ziploc. And there's my pattern. So you can see it's a little bit different. I can put it here and you'll be able to see it better. It's different from the little picture up there that I'm showing. Or I guess I can go like that. Because this was made in my cross stitch pattern making app, whereas what you see there, I've gone and then edited it in Photoshop to add the florals. So I have to work from this first, and then I have my own little printout of this before my printer started running out of ink. And my floss. Man, I posted a video today on Instagram, just a regular video post, not like a reel or anything like that. And I forgot to set the cover picture, and I just look like so bored, and I have regrets, like major regrets. Okay, we are going to start by doing this little girl's shoes because I have the color here. So one big problem I'm facing is all of the colors for this are kind of everywhere. And I'm almost finished with the colors that I do have on my little ring, which is this. I have to flip it. I've been trying to do the loop start more often that I posted about on Instagram when you have an odd number of flosses, and it's great. It's nice to not be flipping my piece all the time, but when it comes to something like these tiny little shoes that are just a tiny triangle, that's not good. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Might see if I can zoom in more. And then I got to refocus. There we go. Oh, and I have a really, really boring needle minder today. I'm so sorry, but as you may be aware, I recently moved house, and I can't find my needle minders. Like, I'm shattered. I love my needle minders. I have so many cool ones, but I can't find them. I have shelving that's over that way, and once I've figured out my camera and camera setups properly, I'm gonna try really hard to make sure that at least some of those shelvings are visible. Behind me, I talked about this again in my floss tube that I've recorded. Behind me is gonna have my work. It's gonna have my swatches that I've been making. It's gonna have a pegboard. I'm going down that route, and it's gonna have shelving up higher that you probably won't be able to see, but that'll be for me. That's her shoes done. Yeah, I can't wait. everyone except me in this family has their own room. Like my kids have their bedrooms, my husband has his massive office. I don't have a room that I can call my own, so I have this nook in the playroom. Hang on. Okay. So that's all I need for that color. Like, I love Stitch People, but sometimes it's like, that was 4 half stitches. It's a little bit ridiculous. Alright, let's do this girl's top. So before I did it as a turkey work. So I'm gonna have to do that again. If you don't know, turkey work is when your finished product, your finished stitch is all fluffy or looks like just strings of floss. It's very cool and it looks really daunting. Oops. Yeah, it looks really daunting to do, but it's actually really easy. So this is, I'm just doing the loop start with 3 because I've gone back to doing 3 strands of floss. I was a 4-strand gal for at least a year, but I think I prefer, well, at the moment, I know I prefer the coverage that 3 gives. I'm gonna have to take this band-aid off, it's getting my needle caught. Don't worry, I'm going to be trimming off that little tuft that you can see. I'll get there. So to do the turkey work, well, how I do a turkey work is I like to cross stitch where it's going to be in the same color or colors, depending on how I do it. And then do the stitch over the top, which is another reason to do 3 strands for the cross stitch, because otherwise you've just got a lot of floss going into the same tiny little areas. Actually, you know what? I don't actually need to chop that off. I just realized, because I'm going to be adding little tufts of floss anyway, that can just join in the fun. Oh, I'm so clever. The music just went away. That was weird. These headsets are trying to be helpful and like fade in and out for stuff, and I'm not a fan. Don't know how to fix it. Don't know if I can fix it. Oh, I'm excited to post this floss tube video. It's already uploaded, I just gotta schedule it properly. I'm nervous about getting into the floss tube community. This is my little ort jar. This is my ort jar, which is just this year. And because it's already pretty packed, like that's squashing it down pretty far, I went out and bought a new one. But I'm gonna do a reel or something of transferring it over. I just haven't gotten around to it. Okay. Do I need... No, I need to do little back stitches before I do the turkey work. Okay, so the back stitches, you know what? I'm going to bring up the pattern on my computer because it's been a while. And that way I can get the right colors, definitely. Open. Ivan. Alright. Okay, so we need... This is the good thing about being here to stitch, because normally I just take my work wherever I need to go. I have all my floss colors here. So I need 151, and I can just get, oops, I can just get the right box. Of course, I've got that section of colors. I'll show you. See, that section of colors. I've got them all in my freaking swatches to stitch. Okay. I'm gonna assume the other one's white. Yeah. I was gonna do the little lines on her skirt. But yeah, one of them is 151, and that is one of the colors that I'm doing in the swatches. So I'll do the white now. But I might actually get a different white, because that is a nice tidy little 3 strands already. Oh, helpful tidbit for you all. If you're new to stitching, white and blank, exactly the same color. Just a useful tidbit for you. It used to always be called white. Now it seems like it's always called blank. So, you're welcome. Oh yeah, and feel free to hate on me about the fact that I lick my thread. Can't change. Never going to change. It makes it so much easier. Just make sure I'm in focus still. Cool. Should do this with a sharp needle. Sorry, you're all looking at the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm a very professional streamer, if you hadn't figured this out already. So I'm just doing a little tiny back stitch. The white it rotates between white and the dusky pink, I think it is, which is 151 DMC. and the white goes through the center of the. Yeah, have I got a sharp needle? That one's a little bit sharper. Yeah, the white one goes through the center of the square. And normally when I go and I do back stitch in a straight line like this on a Stitch People product, I just do one big long line. Like eventually this guy is going to get little lines to delineate his arms from his body. But I want this to look really subtle. So I'm doing each individual square. And yeah, stitching each individual little square is actually, well, it's a lot more work. Let's point that out. But it's also it also makes it just look a little bit less stark. And also kind of makes it look like it's filled in, I guess, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense. Okay, one more. See, I don't think you can even see that on the stream. Whoa! My whole thing just fell off. Well, I can hold it at a different angle if I do that. Okay. Yeah, this band-aid's gotta go. Sliced my finger open on a staple earlier today. Put this back on. There we go. Alright, what should I do next? Alright, I'm gonna do, before I forget it, I'm gonna do, so this woman has a tiny little tattoo on her shin. And to do that, I'm gonna mix the skin color with some dark grey, so 3799. I wish I could stream the music so I don't look like such a crazy person. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, the shin tattoo. Okay, so I want the skin color, which I've got here. And no, I don't normally store floss like this. Just to be clear. And then I've got this 3799. At the time, I had finished stitching her skin tone. So the little girl and the woman have the same skin color, but the man has a different skin color. But I didn't have the bobbin of this skin color still on my little ring because I took it off for a different project, but I was still working on it with this strand. So that's the end of me explaining away my reasoning of why I do things the way I do. Okay, so I've got 2 strands of skin color and I've got 1 strand of 3799. This is combining floss. And then I'm going to trim them all to the same length. There's a little wispy bit of the skin color at the end there, so I just trimmed it a bit extra. And then I'm literally going to do 1 cross, like half of a cross stitch. Not even like 1 stroke of a cross, if that makes sense. It's not half a cross stitch because this is 3/4 of a cross stitch technically. The ears, for example, are half a cross stitch. And I'm doing all of this just for this tiny little tattoo. And this is why I love Stitch People, because it's so ridiculous, but it makes such a big difference. And I need to come in here and come down here. And that's it. Like, that's how minute it is. You can barely see it, but like this woman is, or actually the man is my customer. He's gonna look at this, and the woman too, because it's for her. They're gonna look at this and be able to like say, "Oh my God, that's my tattoo." Like, how cool is that? And so I'm like a stooge in a way with my floss. So I'm going to salvage those skin colors into a stack of 3 still, because that's all there is in difference in length. I'm going to trim that, put that in my floss thing, and put that on the thing when I need it, when I get it. And then I've got 2, that's going to be 2 separate strands. Okay. All right. I haven't touched this dog. I'm just like, ugh. Because the dog is the main reason why I really don't want to do this stitch again. So I'm putting it off. Alright, this little girl's leggings. 951. I'm going to need the white as well, I think. Yeah, white blended with 951. Let's put this back. And I need my third box because I roughly know where everything is in which box. 951. It's basically a skin color. Hopefully by my bopping you can figure out what song I'm listening to now. Alright. Enough lip syncing. Let's do some little tights. So I'm going to do my little loop start again. Which is just like magic. I don't really understand how this thing works. But it does. Oh. Need all strands. Thank you very much. Alright, before I continue, I need to trim that. That goes in my wort jar. Okay. And the song after the one I just listened to is not the same tempo. Man, no one's coming to watch. Sad. I want people to chat to me. I'm just chatting to myself. Plus, I would have thought, I'll be honest, that streaming at the evening would be way more enticing to watch. But I guess I am Pacific Standard Time, so all my East Coast friends may not be interested in starting watching a stream at 11 p.m. I can't really do anything about that. I've got 2 small children, so. I think my husband would divorce me if I was like, hey, so, come 5 o'clock, once you've finished work, I'm gonna jump on the computer and stitch while streaming myself. How does that sound? He'd be like, yeah, go jump. But it's important. I want to gain the followers. I want to gain the community. I'm gonna do the things. And he'd be like, that's nice, dear. That's not the right color. Okay, so that goes there. That goes back on my white. I'm such a floss. Hoard eyes, salvage as much as I can. That's why this is only as much as it is. Because that's 6 months and 15 days worth of floss. And that includes embroidery, which goes through so much floss. Yeah. I need to do this man's face because it just looks a little bit sad right now. So we're going to do his face. And that is skin tone mixed with 3862. We're going to do 3 colors for this one because I'm not happy about just doing 2 colors, especially that stark difference. But we are going to go with those late 380 colors because I like those ones for facial hair. So we're going to go with 3864 and 3862. So those 2 and my flesh color for this man, which is 948. So we're going to mix these 1 strand of each of these 3 colors. So we've got the skin showing underneath. We've got like, how do I explain it? It's like, I guess you could consider it shaded skin, and then the facial hair. Hopefully that makes sense. So we got 1 strand of that, we got 1 strand of that, and 1 strand of this one. Oh, that's a long one. And then we cut them all to length. And this is how I like to do facial hair, when it's like 5 o'clock shadow-ish. Maybe like a couple of days worth of facial hair, if that makes sense. Depends on the man, obviously. Like, my husband has a lot of trouble growing facial hair. I love him to pieces. If you're watching, Josh, I'm not ragging on you the way you can grow facial hair. But yeah, more classic 5 o'clock shadow kind of dealio. So because this starts with a 3/4 stitch, I'm starting at the back just because it'll be easier. I can't do the loop start on a 3/4 stitch. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could try, but I'm not going to try. Oh, this man is going to look so much better with all of his face on the piece. They always look very spooky when I stitch the skin but not the facial hair. So you will notice that because of the 3/4 stitches, I will have some crosses going the wrong direction. And like this is less than ideal, but I would rather the hair, or like in this case the hair, going the correct direction than like my alternate method is to just do full cross stitches. But I like to make sure that everything is not necessarily completely accurate, because it is Stitch People. It's supposed to be a cartoony kind of style of rendition of people. But I've totally lost what I was saying. Yeah, I guess it's not how I normally stitch, is my point. I always make sure that my crosses are all the same direction, like you're supposed to, in my opinion. People might disagree. But yeah, when it comes to 3/4 stitches or quarter stitches, depending on which ones you're doing, I find it more important to get the direction right, so that it looks the piece looks proper, than it's not going to be the right direction. I obviously can't do it. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, this little man is going to look so much nicer with his actual face all filled in. It'll be so much acceptable looking, I guess. It's kind of hard to see it. I go like that and then focus again, you can see it a bit better. But yeah, that looks better. He has a head now, yay! I've just got to tie this off. Oh, I did have another viewer, but they're gone. I was obviously too boring. Alright, that's not long enough to salvage, so that can go in there. But we can salvage these. So that one looks like the lighter brown. Oh no, it's not. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, that one. And then the other one is the darker brown. Cool. Alright, what should I do next? I did a tattoo. That was the one I was like, I have to remember to do this, because it was, this tiny little area that would have just looked completely wrong because I hadn't done the top line of the cross stitch. Oh, sorry about the microphone bump. Honestly, I should just get the dog started at least. I need to cross stitch it first, and then I'll be going over it with turkey work, just like the little girl's vest, which that's why I have these little fluffy bits here. I need to take my medication first. Okay, I put my microphone up and as a bonus, it muted it apparently, because although I love this bottle, which I'll cover up the thing, I love this bottle because it has a flavoring thing in it. It is loud as hell to drink from. Anyway, so I was looking at my pre-made color mixes, which I will put here so you can see. So I have like all of these, which are mostly hairs, but like the blues are for denim, and then I've got these specific ones that I did really early on that I saved for some reason. Like one of them was someone's hair. Another one was like someone's dress, like this purple one was someone's dress. And then I've got like camo. Yeah. Oh, and this is one of my cats specifically because I do my family portraits, so I saved my cat. And then I've got my little random colorful tattoo ones, which is just like a mixture of some colors. Anyway, so I have all this saved, and I was looking through it to try and figure out the dog because I don't remember if I did exactly what I put in the pattern or if I made a mixed color. And I think we're going to try one of the mixed colors because I'll dig out my pattern again. I'll just put this away first. Sorry, I keep bumping my microphone. I apologize. So the little ears of the dog are a darker color, as well as the shoulders and the little belly. You can see the N instead of the little triangle. That was to kind of mostly delineate that that's where its ears are, and that's where its shoulders are, and that's where its tummy is. So I'm thinking I will use these two. These two I've marked with stars together, so they match. I don't remember what I used them for, I'll be quite honest. I don't know if it was this dog, but I think that the darkness between the darkness of this one from this one, I think it's going to work. So, why not? Let's do these, and if it looks terrible, I will get the seam ripper out. I preach that people should just be brave and they should just do it, and it's okay because you can cut it all out. I need to take my own medicine. So let's do it. This is the dark one. So this will be where the N is on the pattern. I have to start from the back because it's a lot of quarter stitches. I need to make sure I start in the right spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just double check that that's the right hole. Then we'll actually have a dog. Focus to cancel. Alright, I'm just gonna try and focus on something else. Okay, cool. Yeah, alright, it's focused properly. Alright, let's do an ear. So I'm coming up, it's in line with this square. Yeah, see, that's why I double check. It's one square down. I even think I'm one square too close. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I sound real confident, don't I? Okay. I'm going to do the bottom of the ear. 1, 2. I keep checking to see if I've got any viewers. Ha! Huh. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go on the edges of the ear. Okay. Then we need to come down here. You know what's crazy? So streaming keeps me focused on what I'm doing, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong. I have a bowl of M&Ms behind me that I have not touched. And that is just crazy to me. It's good. I don't need them. Yeah, let's do that one as well. Now, we need to go down 1, 2, and then across 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that right? Yeah, and then I actually need to go down one more because I can start there. Cool, and then it's just 2 little squares. Yep, awesome. That's what I like to see. And we're going to go back up here to that one with 3 in the between. Yep, cool. Okay, now I want to go up there. Up 2. I definitely need some music for you guys to figure out where everyone gets their music from. I did find a playlist that supposedly is royalty-free music, but I don't know how much I trust it. And I don't really want my account to be suspended, just for my ignorance. Okay, that's that. There's some gorgeous ears. I think this is 4 strands here. What's going on? Obviously use this for something else. I'm going to take out one of the white ones. Hopefully that's one of the white ones. It is now! Haha! There's my needle. There. Alright, now we're going to do a little doggy head and body. Okay. Just kind of admiring how crisp what you guys are seeing the stitching camera as. And it was no extra cost from what you get in the box to set up that camera up there as a webcam, which is nice. Definitely a fan of this camera. It's not that different in color. I'm gonna have to do some backstitching in a slightly darker brown. Just slight, not super different. Just to delineate ears and the chin and stuff like that. It is nice to get started on this dog though, I will admit. I've been putting it off so bad. And I keep looking at it thinking, oh my god, this dog's head is so big. And then I remember that's the point of Stitch People pieces. They look cartoony and the people have really big heads. What did I do there? 1, 2. Oh, I forgot a stitch. Okay, cool. That'll get covered up anyway, because I've got to do the turkey work over the top. But I'll do that just to remind myself. Yeah, that'll be easily fixed with the turkey work. I'm very excited tomorrow. A piece that I made as a gift to a stranger, basically, is being delivered, and I'm very much looking forward to their response to receiving it. Hopefully they share their response. Not necessarily publicly, although that would be very much appreciated, but at least just privately. I just need some more. So yeah, my little bobbin, I write down the 3 colors that I use to combine and make these little swatches. So that's my 3 colors. And then I just pull out one of each. And that way, because I've written them down, if I ever need more, I can easily go and make it again. And I mean, some of my hair colors are like my go-to browns, for example. Hair is important to do in multiple colors, in my opinion. Gives it depth and interest. And if I was to run out of a little swatch that I've made midway through someone's hair, then I would be shit out of luck, basically. It's so freeing having a second hand to hold stuff down, and I should probably do my nails next week. Ha! Like I'll remember to do that. You're lucky I've actually got almost all my nails on one hand. My nails are very brittle. I'm glad to have gotten more under my belt with this piece tonight. Even if no one else came to watch me do it. Okay. So I'm gonna move my needle minder up here because I want to hold all that floss out of the way. I'm going to use it when I do the turkey work. See, needle minders have just so many uses. They're the best. I'm still sad that I can't find my needle minders after my move. Okay. Interesting. So I do have a viewer. I thought it was just me with my own stream open, but it still says one viewer. So, hello viewer. I'm assuming that you are my husband. Where if you are, then you've probably got me on mute. Because I just closed my stream. Oh, and I didn't bring my pattern back up. Okay. Well, problem with having my needle minder there is my needle keeps wanting to snap to it. No. You stop it. I like what a lot of people who also make stitch people portraits do regarding pets is that they don't cross stitch it. They just like satin stitch it basically. So it's sort of freehand, and it makes it makes it a lot easier to do the sort of color blends and different sized pets and things like that. I like the way they look. I like how a little cross stitch doggy looks. You know? It matches the people. So I'm going to do turkey work. it's still gonna look, as long as I do the way it looked in the first iteration that I stitched, it still looks like a little blocky doggo, because I've set out this like structure, this grid-like thing with cross stitching. And you'll be able to see some of the cross stitching behind it. So I'm not, yeah, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But I gotta finish off this strand. Okay. Now I should just eat the frog and make the turkey work now, but I really don't want to. What else can I do? I'll do our little frills. So this woman's dress had like little frilly shoulder bits, and I had the bright idea to just do little little cast on stitches. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I haven't heard that sound in ages, so I didn't know what was going on. Thank you. So I'm going to use 3 strands to do a cast. Am I going to do 3 strands? Because that's going to be really thick. I don't remember what I did on the first piece. 2 might be better. It needs to be really subtle. So yeah, she had this like little frilly bit that sort of went all the way around the shoulder strap. And yeah, I did a cute little cast on stitch for it. I'm just trying to visualize it on the piece. Yeah, 3 is going to be too many. I'm going to do 2 strands. Now I'm going to do a quilter's knot, because lazy. No. Because it's embroidery, it just feels right. And then I'm going to do a little cast on stitch, which will be down to there. Yeah, that seems right. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm like banging into the camera and moving it around. So there we go. Okay. Three would have worked as well, but 2 will be good too. And I don't want it to be terribly long. Oh, that last one went on weird. Let's get that one off. Get off. Thank you. No, that didn't come all the way off. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I don't, so I'll use my other needle. I only want it to cover those 3 squares. So basically, I mean, it kind of helps that I've got like 1, 2, 3 squares to fill. So I'm going to do at least 1 more. No, another one. I should have counted so I had the exact same. Yeah, okay. Pull that off. Stick that underneath. And then that's my little arm frill. And it just looks so cute. I was like so stoked when I realized that I should do that for a little arm frill. Now I'll do the same. I'll do top to bottom. I'm just going to turn my piece so that I can get the needle through. There we go. So if you're watching after the fact or now, I don't know how many followers I've got, viewers right now I've got. This is called a cast on stitch, which I have done stitch alongs that utilize this stitch. 1, 2, 3, yep, there we go. And I think it's a really cool little stitch. And that is, just needs to turn over. Turn over. Don't be difficult. It's so tiny, it's hard to manipulate it. I'm used to doing big ones. I'll go in, and that will probably fix it. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Alright. Alright, what should we do next? Seeing as we're still avoiding doing turkey work, we'll do some back stitching. I'm going to do the little man's shirt. I think I'm going to have to dig out a colour for that one. So I think I remember I don't have that on hand, which is okay because I've got my stitching cart just next to me. Just collecting all my floss bits. I've got lots of white just hanging around everywhere. I'm just using the light to make sure that they're all actually DMC white. Okay. I need to look at my pattern, and I need to get 336. There we go. Oh, it's got some red sparkly bits in it. Why is that the case? Let's get those off. We don't need those bits. No, it does look pretty. Alright. So right now I have 3 strands, and I'm going to keep it at 3 for now because this man has little, like he's got his collar visible. So I'm making my webcam on me wobble like crazy. So I'm going to use the 3 strands first to just do those 3/4 stitches, and then I'm going to go down to 1 strand and do all the back stitching. I think the thing I least enjoy stitching when it comes to stitch people is men's suits. Because there's so many angles, I hate them. No offense, dudes. Just don't like them. I love wedding pieces. That's the conundrum. Like, obviously, this is a wedding piece. You probably could tell because there's a woman in a white dress. And it says, Happy 2nd anniversary. If you're confused about the date, this is because it is very belated. Because USPS lost my original version of this. So I've already stitched this. I know what I'm doing. I'm already trying to replicate it. And I've already messed up. I'm not going to say how I messed up because I feel like that'll jinx it somehow. If you can spot it, good for you. But it's very minor and I can work around it. And I realized as soon as I finished stitching around it that it was wrong. So I'm not doing it again. Alright, we're going to do this little man's arms. And as I was saying earlier in the night, I do the shading in the arms as just one big long backstitch. And that came out. So let's redo that. We'll do it in 2 sections. There we go. Try again. Okay. We do one big long one, and then I like doing a little, this is a recent bit I do, a little hand one to show some shading. And then we're going to do the suit. Oh, I unthreaded my needle somehow. I don't even know how that happened. Hopefully you guys can actually see what I'm doing, because I can't really see what I'm doing with this lighting. I do generally stitch in natural light. I've got an OttLight, which definitely helps. But it's not perfect. I'm going to do a couple of those ones. Thicken it up a bit. Okay. And do the same on the other side. And I feel like that just helps with the angle of the lapels. The bit that I hate. I like it when I do a suit that has like a tighter button up, if that makes sense. So it's not done up like down near the navel, but it's done up more like at the sternum. I feel like those ones are a bit easier to stitch. Okay, I'm going to come back down and do this bit again. Make it more visible. There we go. Okay. Oh, you can see that on the stream. That's good. Cool. So that's, oh, buttons. Let's do buttons while I've got this color. Glad I just looked up to check. So my buttons are just going to be little French knots. There we go. Little buttons. I'll do his bow tie some point. Okay, there we go. My little art jar. What should I do next? What's the time? Oh wow, okay. Still got lots of time. I feel like that means if I've got lots of time still, my camera is wobbling like crazy. If I have lots of time still, I really should just do the dog. I don't want to do the dog. I don't want to do the dog. Ah. I'd rather do hair at this point than the dog. And I love doing hair. Like, don't get me wrong, I love how hair makes a piece. But it's not, it's very nerve-wracking for me. Even though I've done so many of these pieces, it's still nerve-wracking to do hair. Let's do mouths. Now this lady was wearing red lipstick. No, not red lipstick. She was wearing lipstick. My apologies. So they're gonna have regular mouths, and then she's gonna have my lippy mouth. Is that an Australianism? Lippy? We have to abbreviate everything. It's just like part of being an Australian. Nothing can be full words, especially if it's a noun. Where are we? There we go. I gotta tighten my hoop. Fabric's trying to run away from me. Just one strand. All you need. I did do one Stitch People project where I made an open mouth, and that was because it was a little kid and he had a speech bubble. So he was talking, so he had to have his mouth open. And I just couldn't make it look the way I envisioned it. Oh, no, okay. I put a knot in it, but it was easily undone. Alright. On to the little girl first. Ladies first. So a lot of people I know that stitch would carry their thread from here. Do not recommend. It's just good practice to not. Oh, my cat is so mad because I've got the door closed and he can't get in. I just saw him out of the corner of my eye, just saunter off. He'd be all up in my business. He has no concept of personal space. There we go. There we go. Everyone is happy now. Yeah, it's annoying to flip your work over so much, but I just think that it's, as I said, it's best practice to not carry your thread that far, but also it's just, it makes your backs a bit cleaner, and it was drilled into me when I was doing needlepoint as a kid to make sure that you just have a nice neat back. I don't know why, because I don't ever put my work in for like competitions or anything like that. So I'm trying to get comfortable. Oh, that was not comfortable. What else can I do? Let's clean up a little bit. Okay, I've got a box down here. For all these bits. Am I done with white? No, I'm not. No. I'm gonna go so far away from doing this dog. I'm gonna do the text now. Just really don't want to do turkey work tonight. I really need to. Honestly, I will be honest. Part of it is because I really need to handle the piece, and I can't do that and stream. So I will try and get it done between this stream and the next one. There you go. Let's do some text. So we're going to do, what have I put it as here? Yeah, okay, what I thought. So we're going to do the first line of text in the very dark grey, which is 3799. And we're going to, are we going to do 2 strands? Yes, we're going to do 2 strands. And then the second line, because we don't want it to be as prominent, in 413. One, two, three. So I'm trying to do a loop start, but I can't flip my work over to see what I'm doing. Hence, going out of frame. Okay. I actually like doing text. Maybe that's why I've done so many fonts. It's nice to see it just sort of like appear. Plus it gives like definition and meaning to what the piece is about. I should turn this this font that I'm stitching now into an actual font, because I really like using this font in a lot of my pieces. It's very simple. It's all uppercase. I'm about to run out of floss. I folded a piece in half to do the loop start, so it was a very tiny little bit. Oh, I'm not going to even get the Y out of it. There we go. Hap. Let's just use up this. This is what I mean. I use every little last bit I can. Like this is one strand, one random strand that I can turn into two because I just fold it in half and do a loop start. And this just would have gone to waste otherwise. It might even go to waste because I've just messed up the floss. See, like, you can kind of see what I've done there. I haven't put it on exactly right, so I got to trim that. Alright, try again. There we go. Okay. Well, that would have been annoying. I almost came up in the wrong spot. Just a reminder, I am listening to music, so I'm kind of like bopping away. I want to put 2 dots in between. You know what I should do? Take a screenshot. For the gram. Gotta prove it actually happened. I put it over the top of my pattern. Like, what am I doing? I'm lost. I'm gonna go print screen. Is that the right button? Yeah. There we go. Oh, fingers getting sore where I had the band-aid. Apparently it's exactly where the thread goes. Oh, don't have my pattern there anymore. Well, if you're watching this now or after the fact and you are interested in a pattern of this font, let me know. I am actually trying to figure out a new font to make. I'm just not really sure what people would be interested in, to be honest. I'd love to do another Celeste, because everybody loves Celeste. Run out of floss again. I'm still like in awe at how popular Celeste has been, because I thought it was just like, oh yeah, it's kind of useful, it's kind of cursive, it's kind of easy, etc., etc. But then everyone's like, oh my god, I need it. And then I make an add-on for it, and everyone's like, oh my god, I need it. Which is great. I'm so glad that it has been super useful for so many people. And I love seeing it out in the wild. But yeah, I want to make more. I want to see more people using my stuff, basically. It's not about making more money or anything like that for me. It's about being useful and helpful and making a community of my very own, in a way. I'd love to foster my own little community, whether that's just fonts or my patterns as well. That would be great. I wish people would tag me more often in my patterns. You know what I should do? I should double check my my pattern like intro page, because it is dated and it probably doesn't include a lot of stuff that I'd want it to. So thank you, self. Thinking that I should write it down because I will forget. Okay, I'm gonna write that down now. My trusty brain dump book. That's not what I want. I'm trying to find a good page to add it to right now. Notes, okay. Let's do it in red so it's more prominent. Okay. Got to write stuff down or it's going to disappear from that memory. It's just super annoying. But that's my life in a nutshell. Terrible working memory. See, my song that I was listening to just got a bit quieter. So my headset's like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to be listening to it anymore. I'll fade it out to nothing. Why? It's kind of stupid. There we go. My music's come back now. It's trying to fade out again. Okay, happy 2nd anniversary. And we've got it sitting exactly where we want it to on the end there, so I haven't missed any letters. Yes, I have done that before. Thankfully, I caught it before I sent it out, so that's good. It might have actually been the piece that I made of this previously. Thinking back. Because I vaguely recall it being the word anniversary. And there's not many that I've done that say anniversary on them. Alright, so that's that. And now I'm going to use 413 because I want a more subtle grey. I just need to keep my first box out, apparently. I've got a random green thread in this. That can go in my ort jar. That's kind of strange. There we go. And okay, I'm going to move this back over here. So to also go with the theme of making it less visible, just more subtle was the term I used before. Oh, this is just, look at this. This is horrible. What is going on here? There we go. I am going to use one strand this time. Okay. Lining up with the P. So 1, 2, and then there. Oh, dang it. Pulled it through, and then I pulled it through all the way. Made it nice and curly, which is kind of funny. Okay, that goes in there, and don't pull too tight. Let's make sure we're in focus. Cool. Gotta move that out of the way, or I don't have any hand space. What did that just do? Weird. I still don't. So as you can probably tell by listening to me, I am not American. I am, however, living in America. And therefore I must use the American way of dating things. I'm just going to go on the record that I think it is the most stupidest thing ever. I do not like month, date, year. I think it is ridiculous. Personally, I like year, month, date. But I'm always so confused. Even after living here for 5.5 years, seeing such a big number in the middle here where it should be month. Come at me if you disagree. But you know, my clientele are generally based in America, so I do stitch American dates. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to make an order for you because it should be date, month, year. But yeah, I definitely think that having the month as the first number is a very silly thing to do. So yeah, I like how this looks with the legs are getting sore because I've been sitting for a while. I definitely like how this looks with the different floss amounts and the different colors. It definitely gives it different weights. Tune in next time for more tips, more vague tips from Kate. It's time. Oh wow, okay. Oops. Dropped my needle. Here we go. Alright. We have writing. I'm not going to keep that. That's like right at the cusp of lengths I'm willing to keep of floss. Alright. One, three. I'm looking at my pattern now. Seriously avoiding that dog, aren't I? Ah. Hmm. How about a compromise? I'll do the turkey work on the little girl. Oh, I forgot that was undone. I almost had floss go everywhere. Alright, turkey work. Let's do this. You don't like me and I don't like you. Let's band together and get this done. So I'm going to use 3 strands. You can do as many strands as you like. The more you do, the quicker you get coverage. I just don't want to leave gaping holes in my fabric, if in case I need to cut it out. Which I'm not expecting I'll need to cut it out, to be quite honest, but I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. So I've just got, because I'm doing the little girl's top, she had like a little frilly vest on. Fluffy vest is a better word, sorry. Not frilly. I'm just using all the same color. I'm not mixing colors or anything like I'm going to do with the dog. I will just explain. The dog I'm not looking forward to because it's mixing colors. I'm still going to need to outline parts of it. And it's all quarter stitches, or 3/4 stitches in areas. And I'm just not confident, I guess, in the colors that I've picked. Plus, when I did it initially, I used my little bendy scissors, so these ones, to trim it so that I could, wants to stick to the needle, the magnet, so that I could like give it depth that way. So I like trimmed lower or shorter bits at the neck, and I did shorter bits at the tummy, and made its face like a bit more concave, and yeah, I put a lot of work into that little dog, and I'm really miffed at USPS for losing my piece. So a turkey work, we start from the front, and because we want the end of the floss to be part of the stitch as well. It doesn't go behind it. We'll try not to pull all that in. And I'll be doing embroidery how-to videos at some point. I will get around to them. So I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing. I just realized that I started to explain it, but I don't actually want to tonight. Because I'm not really set up for how-to videos. I really should change my needle too. So I've got a spikier one. Where are my needles? Oh, there. So I want a teeny tiny little sharp needle. That one looks good. Let's see if I can single it out. There we go. Oh my god, I can't thread this needle. Oh my god, I just trimmed it and licked it, and I still can't get all 3 strands in. Come on. This is embarrassing. I got 2 in. I just need the last one. This is why I break my needles really often, by the way, because I lick them. Oh my god, please just thread. Ow! I already poked myself and I haven't even started. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. I mean, I did it. Ouch. That hurt. Okay. This will be a lot easier to stitch now with a sharp needle. Oh, come on. Whoa! Wiggling the table so much. I will figure out a better setup for next time. Okay. I messed up somehow, but I can still make it work somehow. I'll figure it out. Okay, that's my first row. So yeah, it comes out as little loops, and then basically you go snip, 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 and then you trim it all. I brush it with my little, I think it's called a naporizer brush. It's a fancy little brush. You can't even see it properly if I do that. But I just I have to do it away from the cross stitching underneath. So like I'd put down this, for example, and brush it like that, and then trim it down. And that's why I want the start and the end to be visible, because it's just extra little bits to use. I'm trying not to get my other little already present fluffy bits in the way. Because it's very easy to just pull them through to the other side. And then I've lost some, oops, I've lost some bits to my work. And you kind of need as many of them as you can get in some cases. If you don't do it tight enough, what have I done? Hang on. Have I seriously made a... Okay, I need to figure this out. Wow, okay. I've got a massive loop on the back, and I think I did it in the last... the first row of it. I'm just astounded that I didn't even notice. Because if I tug... Oh, no, okay. If I tug that, it's gone now. Okay, cool. So what was I doing? Where was I up to? Okay, next spot. In. Could have sworn I was about to break my needle just then, the way I bent it. So I do like to cut all my little loops at the very end. It's a lot easier to keep track of them from not like tucking them away by accident as you go. And some people work vertically as well, just if you're curious. I like to work horizontally just because that's how I cross stitch as well. Well, I assume that that's why I like to do my turkey work horizontally. Might not have been the best idea to save this little tuft here because it's just getting in my way. Come on. Come on. And this is why I wanted to just do 3 strands. Trying to pull it all through can be really difficult. So you might think, why did you even cross stitch underneath that? Because you're just covering it all up. I have done turkey work where I did not do cross stitch underneath, and it was such a bitch to do full coverage. You could see the fabric, and it didn't help that it was a dark brown, but you could see the fabric in every little crevice that wasn't covered up. It just makes it so much easier if you just cross stitch underneath it first. Or I guess if you're doing it embroidery, just do like a satin stitch underneath. But like I've got all of that floss. So like I have learnt over the years how to do my coverage properly when it comes to turkey work. But yeah, that very first one I did where it was a head of hair, it was such a pain to fix. Because trying to add turkey work on top of already stitched turkey work is, let me just say, it's not fun. And yeah, you can probably tell why as well, why I'm putting off the dog, because this is literally 6 squares of cross stitch, but this has taken me, I'm gonna guess, at least 15 minutes so far. I want to say longer because it feels like longer, but yeah. Oh, and to be clear, you don't need to cut off your thread at the end of every row. Like, I've just finished a row and I could use this and go back the other direction if I wanted to. I just find it easier to just work from left to right. Oh, what am I doing? I need to go in front. Come on. This also hurts my hand. Starting to talk myself out of doing turkey work on this dog, I'll admit. Like, there are a lot of pros for just leaving this dog as is. I have to look at my customer photo again. Maybe I'll just do like the ears or something. I think it's a Maltese. Oh, come on. Last thing I want to do though is unthread my needle, because this was such a bitch to thread. Okay, there we go. That's all of them. Sorry about the angle there, probably. I wasn't really thinking about that. So I'm using my super pointy scissors now. I'm going to snip and snip, and we just cut all of those loops. Fun fact, that there was the dog that I did previously. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see if I've cut all the loops, so I just basically run my scissors through it, and that always catches any loops that are left over, but I've done them all. So now, what am I going to use? Oh, I've got hard card here. That'll work excellent. There's something on it. I just want to keep that there. And that, like, you can probably see all the little flyaways that I'm making. And I'm scratching the crap out of the card. Let's do the other way. But you can see it's breaking up the fibers a lot. And just makes it more fluffy. Let's do this way. Oh, the little red thing came off. And then we'll do this side. And that feels so soft. It's so cute. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna cut through the middle with my needle. Split it. Put the card in the middle so I can get this bit. So just a reminder, I put the card down because I don't want to scratch the living crap out of my cross stitches. So like all of that has just come out of, put it closer, all of that fluff has all just been stripped from this, and now this is super soft. It's actually quite fun to just sit there and pat it. But I need to trim it, and this is the moment of truth. You just go snip. Or you hack at it, whatever works. And then that's all chopped off. And then I just, trim it. I'm actually going to use a different pair of scissors. And then I can always cut more off, but I can't stick more back on. I mean, I could, but I don't want to, because it'll be such a bitch to redo, or to add to, I mean. So from here, I just slowly trim it away. Oh, I missed one. Somehow the nap brush didn't catch on it. Okay, I'm gonna need to shift my piece. because it was a little vest, so you can actually see like a little bit of a dress underneath it, which is why I didn't put any of the turkey work on that little line in the middle. Not that you would have really been able to see that. This is really good to do with really, really sharp needles. Keep getting my scissors and my needles and my needle minder and floss all mixed up tonight. Really sharp scissors. Still a bit too long. So it doesn't leave a lot left when it comes to Stitch People stuff, that is. But the finished result, it just gives it something extra. Like these little frilly bits on her sleeves. Like it's those tiny details that you want to create. And that'll sit a lot nicer, and I'll actually be trimming it more after it's had a wash as well, which is a while away. I don't wash it as I'm working on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of pick at it a little bit, try and wriggle it. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm going to just get all of this out of my nap riser brush. Look at that. So fluffy. So yeah, turkey work is cool, but it is nerve-wracking. Hence why I have been putting it off for the dog. And I'm glad I haven't done it for the dog tonight because it's already 10 to 11 and my stream ends at 11. So yeah. What can I do for 10 minutes? I actually don't know. What should I do for 10 minutes? I will show how I make this circle. So I'm going to take this off here, move my hoop stand. I can go down there. Let's tidy up a little bit. Oh, my desk is covered in little fluffy bits now. Alright. Let's get that out of the way too. So I'm going to take it out of its hoop, remove the needle minder and, well, magnets. Not really a needle minder at the moment, is it? Oh, that wasn't great. There we go. I feel like a piece breathes in a way once I take it out of its hoop, because it can flatten. So to get the circle, as you can see, it's basically a circle of florals around it. And to do that, I use a compass. So I already know exactly where the center of my piece is, because whenever I mark out my grid, I always mark the center. And I have a compass that I can put my own pens into, and I'm just hunting for a water-soluble marker that I want to use. Oh, I don't have one in there. Okay, that's interesting. Do I have one in here? No. Okay, well this one should fit. I'll just double check. Oh no, there's one. Oh, there's 3 others. Jeez, I didn't look very hard. We'll use that one. I kept losing them. So that's why I have a bunch. But yeah, so I can put my pen in. Take the lid off. And then this is my center. So I'm just going to put it in, and then based on the pattern, oops, put it in, figure out roughly where the circle needs to sit. So I'm looking at, I'll put this here so I can show you. I'm looking at this because this is kind of the closest to something that I've stitched, of like roughly where to mark my circle. So I don't want it too close. I learnt that from the last piece. I did the circle a bit too tight, and then my florals were too close together. So I'm going to go around to that, and then the whole top. And I don't have to use all of it, and I won't. But that's how I get the circle. Ta-da! When I realized that, like, it's probably super obvious. When I realized that I could do that, I felt like such a badass. Like, that's the kinds of things that I get excited about. Like, I figured out a thing with using a tool that's hundreds of years old for my stitching. But yeah. So then I'll just, because I've only got like a couple more minutes left. Basically, what's that? Oh, cable. So if I'm copying my pattern, it'll be one there, like one there, and then one there with some leaves, and a leaf there, and then a leaf there. Let's do another one there, leaf there, and one over there, and then I'll do my little tiny leaves. And I know not to do too many down here because I didn't really like how it looked with the last piece. So I'll probably like end it here, which is there. And then this one has a circle flower there, and this one has one there. And I don't think I did leaves. I'm trying to make it the same as well, like, so my customer knows what they're expecting. Because I did send photos. And then I want a leaf there, and that. Like that. And I don't have to follow that if I don't want to. Like if I look at it tomorrow and I'm like, ooh, what did I just do? I can ignore it. I can wash it if I really hate it and redo the whole thing. But yeah, I might end it there. I'm a couple minutes early, but this was good. I'm planning on doing Thursdays, not just for this month, because I mean half the month's over already. I might just turn off my music so I'm not talking over the top of it. Okay. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, especially if you've come back and are watching this after the fact. I am gonna remember next week to actually promote that a bit more, that I'm going live and that I am live and all of that. So I'm hoping that I can get a couple more people jumping in to say hey and have a chat and maybe stitch along with me and tell me what they're working on and all that kind of jazz. But it's been if anything, I came in thinking this already as well. It's been good to stream as what's the word I'm trying to think of? Pressure? That's not the word I'm thinking of, but accountability to stay stitching and to not jump around and then start browsing the internet or scrolling through Instagram or whatever it might be. Because I really need to get this piece completed. And I also have to get this. I'll show you this piece as well. I talked about this in my floss tube video, but this one's almost done. I will hopefully get this out the door relatively soon. Like it's in the next couple of days. I've just got to do the hair, the flowers, and double check that there's no missing details, and I need to sign it too. So, but yeah, that one's almost finished, which is good. So I won't be streaming myself doing that one, but I'm hoping to get this done ideally next Thursday, like finished next Thursday. I am waiting on an order from 123 Stitch to come in of fabric and flosses, and then I'll be able to get started on the house. And I think that one will take up a lot of my streaming while chatting, hopefully, to people as I stitch, because that one's a behemoth. You'll see on my floss tube. Yeah, that one's going to be big. So I'll need to push myself to make sure I get that out the door on time. That won't be oh, I need to pull a couple of all-nighters to get it done kind of project. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next week at 8 o'clock in the evening, PST. Bring your stitching, or bring your questions, or just hang out, whatever works for you, and I'll see you around. Bye!